CFB Dynasty podcast with hosts Matt Knowles, Brian McElfresh, and Doug Gravely.
Hey everybody, how you doing out there? It's the CFBDynasty.com podcast. My name is Matt Knowles. As always, here with these two dudes. Why don't you introduce yourselves? Go.
What up? It's B-Mac. It's the season of optimism for me. Got my national champions Gators hat. Yes, really dusty. It's 2006, but excited for the new year. Excited for recruiting, 2024 rankings, all that stuff. What's up, Doug?
What up? Doug over here. My name doesn't say I am second, so I'm super excited.
I'm telling you. So let's just stop real quick before you say another word. Okay, so we busted on Doug. There's a reason for this podcast, and this isn't the reason, but this is one of those hard stop, make sure we talk about this. Right now, Doug, we bust on him for being the number two guy, the deuce of the league. Doug actually won a college fantasy football, pro football championship. And Doug, who did you beat? Who did you crush? Who did you dominate in that championship game, sir?
It was a smash of BMAC. I came in, my team had a game plan, and it was just to annihilate him, and that's what we did. It was an annihilation of
1.1 points in the last couple of minutes of Monday Night Football. So that's great. So, Doug, congratulations on getting the big dub. But that's not why we're here.
Oh,
we're here for everybody to take some wheels back. Think about what was going on in your life 11 to 12 years ago. For at least 2/3 of the people on this podcast, we were probably playing one of the most popular video games of that era, NCAA football.
Mm-hmm.
That video game has not been around for a long time. BMAC, tell everybody why we're in this thing right now.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to going over the video game just out of pure love for the sport, college football. Far and away my favorite sport. We're going to go over the video game, how we used to play it, a little bit of that, but mostly just covering the news, what's going on with the new game. I'm sure we'll be streaming, playing with some of you guys come summertime. But yeah, man, a lot has happened since then. The college football game in general has changed, which we can talk about a little bit at the end, but which means there's going to be a ton different in the new game. But I really have to credit CFB Dynasty and or credit really the video game's absence for CFB Dynasty. Having a couple kids, starting another business, so maybe all of that stuff wouldn't happen because I was pretty good at the game back in the day and put in a lot of hours. But I'm stoked for the relaunch.
So, it's incredible to think about what's happened in the world since the last time we did that. Like you said, you got kids, you got to do business. We went through COVID. We've gone through multiple presidents. Doug was probably still in diapers. I don't even know. But it is exciting to know that during the college football championship, not the fantasy championship, but during the college football championship, big news is supposed to be dropping on the video game. So, BMAC, why don't we start off? What is going to be one of the first differences in the game we used to play compared to now? Let's just start talking about the name.
Yeah, and I'll throw up some footage here from some of the guys that are posting. There's been some great mods that have gone out, and you can check out some of this video game footage on YouTube. This isn't the actual footage, but it's still cool stuff to kind of have up as we look forward to the game. But yeah, NCAA obviously is coming out of the game. EA Sports College Football 25 is likely to be the name of the new video game. It's always a year ahead for whatever reason. That's always bothered me. But yeah, that'll be totally new in the game this year.
So, BMAC, why don't we go through what are the things that we know right now about what we think is going to be in this trailer, this information that's going to drop tomorrow night? What are the things that has you the most excited about what's going to be dropping tomorrow?
First of all, as we see these rankings go across the screen, I sure as heck do not agree with how they're ranked. We've got some of our own rankings that are coming out for how we think players will be ranked in the new video game here coming soon. But yeah, so ESPN we know will be featured in the game. College Gameday is going to be in the game just like they were back in the day. Herbie's going to be in the game, which, you know, we with 98% confidence assume that, you know, nothing is like locked and set in stone here, but we pretty much assume he's going to be back in the game. He's been a big proponent for the game over the years, which obviously we appreciate that. But I don't know, maybe we'll see some different things. Like if you play Madden, you know, there's different you know, announcer and color commentator combos. You know, maybe we'll get some of that. Maybe you'll get some Pat McAfee or someone else in the game, and we'll see how that one goes. But that'll be interesting.
So I know one of the big things that was one of the big drawbacks back in the day when the game went away. Couldn't use players, couldn't use real teams, couldn't use real logos. BMAC, where do we stand on that aspect when it comes to what we know about the game or what we hope is going to be in the game going into college football 25?
Yeah, so Doug, picture this, like, you know, recruiting season or recruiting time is happening. We're leading up to signing day. Back in the day, it was just February 1st. And after signing day, or like right early February, after signing day is when hype is at an all-time high. You know, you got all your new players, you got a 5-star or 2 on your team, and you really want to play with them in the game. So back in the day, all right, that's when me, Danny, Mike, other people in the community would just start entering rosters in. So it's like literally just typing it in with your Xbox controller, like not being able to type it actually out. It's like moving your cursor to the letter, click it, go to the next letter, click it, and we're naming players as accurately as we can, putting in our own versions of the awareness, blah, 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 blah. And now we'll have names in the game. So that's going to be totally different this year in the college football game, where it's going to come with real logos, teams. I know for a fact that David Waters, one of the guys we interact with on the Gators side of things, tweeted out about it. Probably, I feel like it was early during the season where EA was at the swamp and they were recording, you know, the sounds. Like they're trying to nail every little thing. So unique traditions. They're going to have throwback uniforms, helmet stickers, like chants that happen in the stands, songs played by the marching band, and everything that makes the whole college football atmosphere feel unique at your team's stadium is what they're trying to nail, which is pretty awesome. This is what really sets it apart, you know, from your standard, whatever, NFL kind of sanitized atmosphere. College football, every stadium is unique. And you love that part about it. You love that part about the different songs and different things that are happening. So stoked that that's a big part of what they've been trying to do for the last 2 years. And that's going to be super fun.
So BMAC, what do we know about the engine? Do we have much information about the engine that's going to be used this year? And are they going to try to right the wrongs of 11, 12 years ago? What I mean by that is this. One of the biggest complaints about the NCAA game back in the day was that there were things that felt broken, things where once you found a specific play, you were going to be able to use it and just use it over and over again. And I remember the community would lose their minds over somebody from EA Sports going in and being like, where does your band normally sit in the stands? And they had the team that was looking for like stadium atmosphere, and people would just absolutely like rage on them about, why are you worried about where my band is when I can run X under, 57 times in a game and the defense is never going to adapt to it. What do we know about the engine and what we're hoping to be improvements on the gameplay side?
Yeah, so obviously a lot has changed, and it will be on the same engine as Madden, which a lot of people take as a negative, but that's exactly how it was back in the day when it still felt like college football. Obviously we had option plays and different things, and it definitely felt unique to Madden. Think about, like a read option was really popular or kind of newish to the game back when it it died, and that was all unique to like came out on the college football game and before it came out on Madden. So I really think it's going to be a good feel. I do think that nailing the atmosphere is a big part of college football. So, you know, I know what you're talking about though, Matt, like when they would focus on one thing and be like featured on the back of the game, where it's like, I remember one year they were really focused on like realistic looking grass. And,
Yes. Doug, that is not an exaggeration. There was one year where they spent like months making sure that the grass had movement, and you're like, this makes no difference in the gameplay.
Hey, you got to have good grass, man. Don't want players to hurt their knees in the video games either.
Are we sponsored by Snoop Dogg now? Let's go to.
We'd be so lucky, Brian.
I know. I'll let you move us along, though, Matt.
All right, so one of the big things, Doug, that we, like Brian talked about customization. One of the things that made our dynasties, if you guys could go back and see the insanity of what our dynasties were, we'd have basically what CFP Dynasty, the home league was basically what we'd be doing in NCAA football. We'd have 8 to 10 guys that would all be playing in a shared dynasty, and we all were like committed to this. I know that myself, my late brother, I'm wearing his jersey today. This is Pinhead Day. It's his birthday. We'd be in there. We would literally rename every single character in our draft class. We would, come up with customized logos, customized uniforms. We'd design them in Photoshop and bring them in. BMAC, what do you know about that level of customization? Are you going to be able to bring in your own logos? Are you going to be able to bring in your own team designs, or is it just going to be strictly what's in the game at that point other than the player names?
It seems like this is purposefully kind of held under wraps. So they say customization will be a big part of the game. We don't know to what level. I mean, if you take us back, Matt, to what Team Builder was back in the day, when it was like, it had a dedicated website that you could go and log on. You could advance the dynasty. You could recruit on the website, but you could also build your own team, create your own logos, make your own stadium look and feel. I mean, it was awesome. I remember running with the Purple Freaks for quite a while, because that was like, for whatever reason, that was one of the names that the announcer said. So I didn't want to have a team where the announcer couldn't say my team name. So I don't remember why I went with the Purple Freaks, but it's stuck with me all these years. And Team Builder was super fun. I remember too, you could also set your own like end zone song, your own like sack song and all that stuff. I don't know if it's going to launch with that, because there's a lot going into this video game and the 2-year build that's coming up to probably in the summertime. But the customization part will be a big part of the game. No definites yet. I assume you're going to be able to create your own school at least. And I'm sure they would look to enhance that beyond what they do in Madden initially, and then maybe move back to the website idea, because I thought that was brilliant. And it was pretty flawless too, for the most part.
So Doug, I have a question for you. So obviously, for those of you who don't know, Doug just kind of came into the fold with our group of guys in the recent past. So Doug wasn't around back in the day when we were playing the NCAA football game. So Doug, when the information drops tomorrow night, what's the kind of stuff that would get you personally excited to want to be like, you know what, I wouldn't mind being the new guy trying out this football game? What's the kind of information you want to know that would get you excited about this game?
Man, that's a tough question, because I don't know. I know it's gonna be on the same, I guess, for lack of a better term, like platform as Madden, but I don't want it to feel that way, I guess, if that makes sense. To me, Madden's been kind of more miss than hit the last couple of years, and I hope that, if there's 2 years of work going into this, I know where I would be in 2 years of what I do with my job. Like, if these people are this smart, I would hope that in 2 years of working on this project, they're pretty far along and it feels different. yeah, like I said, I'd want it to feel like college football, and not like Madden.
Yeah. From what I've heard, it should hit that. I'm pretty excited about it, obviously. But there's a lot of people who would pay $50 plus for just a reskin of the the old game with new rosters. Me being one of them. So I know Doug's good. Like we played together in Madden, and he'll be a challenge. But we'll move along here to the release date. That was next on the list. So it's still like the defined time is still summer in 2024. So we'll see on the exact date. If it is similar to in the past, it would be July, like second Tuesday in July or something like that. So we'll see. Like this game, the 2014, it came out. Oh, it was 2013, I guess. It came out July 9th. So we'll see when it comes out. But hopefully, I think that's one of the things they could announce if they're feeling confident tomorrow night during the championship game. So we'll see. The other question that I have from a lot of my friends that want to play but maybe don't have the same system, because back in the day, we all had to have the exact same system or else we couldn't play. Now it looks like it's going to be cross-platform, where like every EA game is like that these days. So, if you've got the Xbox Series X or the PS5, not the PS4, it's not going to be on the later gen consoles. It's only on current gen, and should be on PC since Madden is now. But all of that stuff will be ideal. So if your buddy's got a PS5, you've got the Xbox, the newest one, then you guys should be able to play together just fine on the online Dynasty mode.
So, Doug, I'll tell you, one of the best things about the college football game that's different than Madden. In Madden, you've got your signing free agent season and the off season, but that's not as big of a deal as college football recruiting. And especially when we were in a dynasty together, an online dynasty, it's almost like the lead up to college fantasy football season. Getting ready for the draft and all that prep, getting ready for the draft and putting your team together is so big. And being able to do that in the game, I know I'm looking very forward to seeing how they integrate all the new insanity of college football with the transfer portal. What are they going to do with the windows? What are they going to do with, can you pull your guys back in from the portal, about recruiting against your buddies that are in the league with you? Those things to me is what made it great, because BMAC and I could both be going after a 5-star recruit, and then at the last second, UCLA could reach in there and snag him, or BMAC goes and takes my guy and I'm cursing him out for under my breath, and because he just got the big guy that I really needed. I can't wait for that. So do we know anything about that aspect of the off season? And that would be something that would be a part of dynasty mode, BMAC, because you're not going to have off season recruiting like that if it's just seasonal.
Dynasty mode is the flagship mode of this game, and that's how EA is approaching that, and that's what we would all want to hear, right? So yeah, we would play Dynasty mode. I would play with my buddy Danny, who's in the home fantasy league. We would play so much. Like I remember one year, it was like a night we were hanging out super late. We hit year 60 in our Dynasty mode, and then the Dynasty mode just ends at that point. So we're like, what do we do now? Well, we started a new one. That's what we do. But anyways, yeah, this year, now they're going to have the portal. So like if Matt's over there like tampering with my guys, trying to get them to hop in the portal to give them a better NIL offer than I gave them, that's going to make me mad too. So I think there's going to be a lot of ways to kind of see how transactions work in terms of player acquisition in the new game. It'll be interesting, but we know portal's going to be there, NIL is going to be in there. Draft classes will go to Madden as they did in the past too. So if you're not familiar with that, basically when you end every season, you'll have the option to save the draft class in a file that you can upload into your Madden franchise mode, and all the player ratings, etc., will transfer over, and that'll be awesome. Just like back in the day, that made me more interested in Madden, etc.
All right, Road to Glory sounds like Road to Glory is going to be back, which is taking a guy from high school, like following an individual player and kind of playing as that guy up through, that wasn't really something I ever really played as much, because you're not going to be doing Road to Glory in a Dynasty with your friends. But Road to Glory was kind of neat, so you could get the real personal experience of one person moving all the way up through the process.
Yeah, you start in high school with that one. Getting a little echo, Matt, so I'm going to mute you for a sec. Test. Yeah, that works. All right, so I'll bring you back on in a sec, Matt. But yeah, so Road to Glory, you start off in high school, and then you go through your college career, and then you go on to the NFL now, because it will connect back into Superstar mode in Madden, which I haven't played that mode in many years because I'm only into Dynasty or franchise mode. But yeah, that'll be there. That'll be there for sure.
So one of the interesting things that really wasn't a big part of gaming at that time, that is just a part of everyday culture in gaming now, is the microtransactions, where you're buying small little things in the game, where a lot of the residual income that the game is going to make happens, but also where a lot of the smaller spending for you as a consumer is going to happen. What I'm curious about is, what are the things that are going to be in the microtransactions, as opposed to what are the things, because before we could just add whatever uniforms we wanted to add into the game. We could go make them, like you said, in the team builder site, and just go add whatever we wanted to into our team. So, BMAC, do we have any idea what kind of things are going to be in microtransactions for this game?
Not really, but they will be coming for your money. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. I don't know. I'm sure it'll be uniforms and different things like that you'll be able to buy alternate. I know they say alternate uniforms, etc., will be in the game. Hopefully they're not all available with a microtransaction, but we'll see. There's no news on it other than Ultimate Team mode will be in the game, and that's what a lot of people hate about the basketball game, the football game, where it's like microtransaction heavy.
All right, so BMAC, what else is there that you want to make sure that those that are out there listening to this podcast, watching this podcast, what other information is there you want them to know and get excited about the video game that we're going to be getting some information on tonight, whenever you're watching this, during the championship game?
Right. Yeah. I'm just excited about it in general. That's the only reason we came on and did this first of the new year pod as we get ready for the college fantasy football season. We've got all of our rankings underway. Doug and I putting in some extra hours working on, watching different tapes, reading different articles, obviously keeping up with the portal. And we've got depth charts out there that we're trying to keep our tabs on, like Boise State. I just worked on theirs right before this podcast today, and man, they're looking legit. On it's just going to be super fun seeing 5-star Malachi Nelson throwing to Camper transfer from Indiana, while you've got your boy Ashton Genty back as a bona fide top 2 fantasy beast. We'll have our fantasy rankings coming out. Yeah, we'll have our fantasy rankings coming out, but we'll have our video game rankings coming out here in a little bit with acceleration and speed and catch rating and carry rating and all that stuff. So it's going to be exciting. Overall, just can't wait to cut it up with you guys. I'll be on the PS5. I specifically got that for my son for Christmas, knowing that this game was coming out and wouldn't be able to be played on the PS4.
Doug, is there anything else you want to say before we leave? It could be about anything else. It could even be about a game that took place last week that you might want to reiterate about potentially scoring more than another person.
Oh, no. We already hit that. I'm not second anymore. So I do want to pose a question to you both. And I'll give you my opinion here after I hear from you guys. But who do you think will be on the cover of this game, and will that be announced tomorrow?
If I had to guess, I'm rolling with the Pop-Tart mascot from the bowl game.
I'm telling you, I was going to say the same thing. I love the fact that they had, Cheez-It versus Pop-Tart. I think that that you could see Caleb Williams being on there. I think the dark horse would be Shador, only because of his connection to Dion.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to see a quarterback that's going to be a big name, somebody that they think is going to bring that money in. What about you, Doug? I mean, or B-Mac, do you have something besides the cannibalized Pop-Tart?
I really hope it's the Pop-Tart. I think that would be awesome. Well, I think it's going to be a player that's in the game as compared to previous years. So I don't think it'll be Caleb Williams. I do think it'll be some sort of NIL deal. Probably Shador is what I would guess. But it's going to be one of the top players in the game that's playing this year, I think.
So what do you think, Doug?
My thought is it's close between two for me. Number one being Bo Nix, because the transfer portal is a new thing on this game, and Bo Nix was one of the most successful at the transfer portal. And I think that's one of the features they're going to want to highlight in this game. So I think Bo Nix has potential to be on the cover. And then my second guess would be Milroe from Alabama.
Alabama, yeah. It could also be like one of the stars we all didn't get to play with. So you think about a Lamar Jackson, like we missed his whole career.
There was a lot of people rooting for like Joe Burrow to be on the cover, for example, too.
Yeah, I could see that. For sure. But
I think it's gonna be fun seeing who the cover athlete is, and watching a bunch of people complain about that too should be fun too. So.
Yeah, I won't complain. I don't think. Maybe I will. Who knows?
Well, we know it's not gonna be Billy Napier or nothing. So
that's for sure.
I'm just looking forward to these these dynasty modes and stuff like that, like you guys used to play. I think it'll be fun. Just another element, and we talk about this and we complain about this, like that 4 or 5 months without football.
You're right.
It's like your life is like, why even wake up in the morning at this point? Like, and now that my Jags missed the playoffs in the pros, it's like, hey, whatever.
Doug, are you not saying you're going to be? Doug, are you saying you're not excited about the UFL?
I'm not going to say that I'm excited. I haven't really done much research about it at all, to be honest with you. But no, I think this game will be fun. I think the championship game tomorrow is going to be awesome. First time, I believe, for both teams, which is going to make it exciting alone. And then having this at some point, people are going to be tuned into this, just waiting for this to happen. And I'm going to laugh when they don't make the video game announcement until like 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter or something. But
that's what's happening. That's what's happening. It's going to be in the fourth quarter.
It could be a commercial. It could be a Twitter launch. We really don't know. But what I know is I won't be taking any bathroom breaks during this game.
I might take a bathroom break during the game.
Somebody get me back up. But yeah, man, this is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And, just a little tidbit, man. It's been great, these podcasts with you guys just this last year. And the fantasy football realm. Can't wait to dig into 2024 with you guys and start it all over again.
It is just another major check mark or tick mark or whatever on the calendar when this game launches. So I cannot wait. And will it alter the way I draft? Because I'll have gone through a full 3 seasons and I'll be like, oh, look at Cam Coleman up there with 99 overall, went top 5 in the NFL draft, and it's like, oh, maybe I'll move him up my board and give him a run.
All right, Mr. App State, calm down.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's it for today. This is just a quick little one. We want to talk really quick about the new college football game that we're supposed to be getting new information on during the college football championship. We hope you guys are having a great new year. We hope 2024 is better than your 2023. Make sure you like and subscribe to us on all socials. Make sure you're sharing out. Make sure you are a member of the Discord. We have a lot of fun, great things planned for you guys in 2024, but you got to be there and you got to be a subscriber on the CFBDynasty.com website to be able to take advantage of all those. On behalf of Brian McElfresh and Doug Gravely, the champ of the CFBDynasty.com home league, this is Matt Knowles. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace out.